kid with a French last name, Monceau or something like that.
Miss Phil, what we eating tonight?
Star Pizza.
Yeah, am I good?
Chance to shoot with your feet. Just flip it up there like a seal. Put it between your toes and do a backward flip. Easy.
I love this shit for real. This shit really fun though.
I think that's a great interview.
It ain't the day. It ain't the day. Hey, y'all. This is Katz, the Cougar After Thoughts Show from GoCoogs.com. We're sponsored by Star Pizza. Brad Towns, Ryan Monceau. Probably going to see Galen. They just finished their game. He's catching up to what you just watched. I'm exhausted, Brad.
I'm absolutely worn out. And that was it was going well for a while, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it got little tight.
Less well?
Yeah. Man, that's the road's never easy.
No.
I really liked the possibility of playing Gonzaga because I thought we matched up really well, and I still think we did. But the X factor in Gonzaga, as compared to anybody else, is Mark Few.
Yeah.
And you saw him make a difference tonight. I mean, his adjustment to that half court trap, about 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
That changed everything. It changed the tempo. It changed the entire game and got them back into it. And they, hats off to them. They made plays.
Now, let's be clear. U of H did not make a shot in the last 4.5 minutes. That helped a lot.
I want to know how many shots we actually took.
Well, you were one of your last 8 over your last 5. So I think you took 5 shots in that last 4.5 minutes. It wasn't great, but you survived. And frankly, you knew they were going to make a run. You knew it wasn't going to be just so. They cut it to, I saw something, and I appreciate this guy. If I had a nickel for each time Gonzaga hit a 3-pointer to cut Houston's lead to 9, I'd have 5 nickels right now. That's crazy. They did that 5 times, and U of H kept responding, and held on barely. But you get the win. You go to Indianapolis, Sweet 16. You end their Sweet 16 run. I've never felt weirder about. I was sitting on the couch wondering, are these college-age kids going to win a game so that I get to go to Indianapolis? But here we are. Brad's going to just watch television for a while.
No, I had to turn the volume down.
Tell me what you thought about LJ Cryer. Was that adequate?
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do,
pig. That'll do.
They changed their defense up, and they decided that they were going to do everything they possibly could to shut him down in the second half. Nembhard was never more than it seemed like a foot away from him, and they did a good job at denying him the ball. But LJ he just kept scrapping and was just money from the free throw line. And, that comes down to be the difference in the game.
Comment of the game. I almost crapped my pants.
Oh, I thought everybody crapped their pants. I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Thought that just comes naturally.
This is a pretty good comment. This could be a stats by Starnes. Gonzaga shot 50% from the field, 45% from three, 100% from the free throw line, and still lost. That's incredible.
It looks even worse than that whenever you consider in the second half, they shot 60% from the field, 66% from the three, and 15 of 15 from the free throw line. Now, they've got to be going back and saying, what the fuck do we have to do to win this game? We gave them everything. And see, that's the crazy thing about this game is that they did what we have done in the past, is they wouldn't go away. They would not go away. And we kept trading with them, just like they said. And then all of a sudden, one little slip up, and then all of a sudden everything changes. But at the end of the day, I really don't give a shit. They could have shot 110%. I mean, we won.
Math. Yeah. Thank you, Aunt Lisa, nail biter. Sweet 16, baby, survive in advance. We have no idea what to do when teams trap us. When they do it against the timeline, U of H has not figured out what to do. It's too much standing around. I have a feeling that that's going to be an emphasis in film session this week. Almost had a heart attack. If my future kid wants to grow up and be a referee, I'm disowning them. Here's where you're wrong. That's like $3,500 or $4,000 a game plus travel expenses. And then all fans think that refs are bought off. So if you add that buy-off money, that's really pretty good, especially for a guy like Tony Padilla, who ruined a game earlier today, who plays coaches or refs 110 games a year. That's damn good money. Any stupid take on Uzan being a first rounder had better end, good Lord. Well, if you judge that off of one game, okay.
If you judge it off of one game, then you need to probably have a lobotomy, because that's.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think it's silly to judge it off of one game against a really, really good. I mean, you're playing a top 10 team. They are a top 10 team by every metric that you could possibly run. Yep. They're top 20 in offensive and defensive efficiency. That's an Elite Eight team. It's not a team that goes out in the round of 32. And Milos
definitely not
had 8 assists.
It's not a normal team that's seeded 8 either.
No.
I mean, you got a legit 4 seed, and you played them in the second round as a 1 seed.
Accurate. U of H has had 3 battles in the last 3 Sweet 16s. Auburn and Birmingham, that ridiculous A&M game in Memphis, and then this one in Wichita. It would be nice for U of H fans to, play a real 8 seed and not the teams like you've played. Nearly had an FAFO moment, but culture won out. Wilson was the disruptor on that final possession. He really was. They made it impossible for that to work for Gonzaga. JoJo Flagrant changed the game. Bad call. I don't think it's a bad call.
I thought it was the right call.
I mean, he nailed the guy. He put
can't
his shoulder down. Yeah.
I mean, there was no basketball play to be made, and he just dropped his shoulder. I mean, I'm all for playing dirty, but if you're going to play dirty, you've got to do it in the flow of the game to where
not get caught.
You have plausible deniability.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand, young man was frustrated and just unfortunate mistake at the wrong time, and
Yeah.
thank goodness everybody picked it up.
They changed. Well, they didn't for a while. The momentum clearly changed. You were up 14, and it was down to 8 in no time.
And fucking J1, dude. Good Lord. First
How
half.
about that guy?
First half.
3 and 9.
Rough.
First half.
Rough.
Adequate.
Second half.
Less rough.
Backpack. You said, "Let's go, boys. Enough of this crap." And you know, that's the thing that we've talked about for a long time, is that you, as an opposing coach, you have to make a decision. Who are you going to stop? Well, at halftime, they decided that they were going to do everything that they can to stop the pick and roll, and by doing that, LJ. And so if you notice what they were doing on defending that pick and roll, it's that the big man was hedging that screen and getting out there on the point guard way away.
Right.
And so they were relying on the off-ball post to try to defend that. And so we just said, if you're going to give J1 man-to-man, then we're going to take that all day long.
Yeah. And clearly they knew that's exactly what was going to happen. And they decided we're going to run this through Jawan the entire second half. And he was 3 and 9 in the first half and ended up 9 of 18 for the game.
Yeah.
That is a backpack. 6 and 9. Makes the plays when you need them. Misses free throws in weird spots of the game, but never down.
I guess there wasn't enough pressure.
No, there was not. He ended up 15 of 20 at the line, which is not terrible. It felt a lot worse.
I mean, but JoJo was an absolute monster on the glass. Put away points, made shots when you needed him to, especially in the first half. But he had 6 offensive rebounds, and J1 had 4 offensive rebounds, and doing that against a team that size, that's pretty impressive. But we were really, really, really strong on the offensive glass. What did we end up?
13, I think.
Out rebounded them on the offensive glass 13-5.
Yeah. And there's 3 of theirs came late, if I recall. They only had 2 for a large portion of this game. I don't know why this keeps happening, but there's something in the comments where if you do something, it gives this A//U 0026M. I don't know what that is, but we've seen it a few times. Reminds me, I guess that's Auburn. No, A&M. Maybe it's an ampersand. That's the issue. The A&M game last year in the round of 32, they just wouldn't go away. You had them down 13 with 90 seconds to play, and they tie it up at the buzzer. It was not quite that drastic today, but it wasn't great. And this should be noted, Mark Few, 9 straight Sweet 16s. He's been the coach there for like 100 years, it feels like. And I looked it up today. He has 151 losses in his career. That just sounds
in like 25 years.
Yeah. That guy can coach.
Well, I mean, see, the thing is, they're way out there on the West, on a little bitty island all by themselves, even outside the Pac-12. So they do everything under the radar, and yeah, they haven't won the big one yet, but they're always there. They were always there. I mean, if you were doing a bracket, you would always put them in the Sweet 16 because you're crazy not to.
And they've done it with a lot of Washington in-state talent, which kind of surprising. But they obviously they go and find the right guys. They got EK. That Huff kid, he did not have his best day today, but he ended up 5 of 8, 4 rebounds. Just felt like he was less of a factor than I expected. What would happen if a team decides to trap us the entire game? Seems like a strategy that would kill us. I don't think you could play Houston with the intensity that you have to play on offense against the U of H defense and then trap them the entire game. Maybe there are teams that have that kind of talent. Purdue is not one of them. Who you're going to play in your next game. That's not what they're going to do.
If somebody tried to, I welcome anybody who wants some of that. Please do.
Yeah.
Because one, your guys are going to be dead at halftime, and you're not going to be able to walk by the 10-minute mark of the second half. But the way that we would attack a press from somebody who is trying to do it the entire game is different than the way we attack the press late game, nursing a lead. Completely different. Late game, we are doing everything to take time. We're getting time and trying to get a foul. Now, I would like to see them be more judicious about getting to the rim when it presents itself inside of 10 seconds or around the 12 second mark. If you've got the ball on the wing and the lob is there. If you notice tonight, there was 3 times where we could have easily attacked. But the theory is that seconds are better than missed shots, obviously. But if somebody's going to do that in regular time, trying to do that, it's just going to be Lob City all day long. I mean, you're just going to be up and down, up and down. And there's a few things that they can do that would end that entire press. I mean, just go to the basket. You don't have to shoot. Go to the basket. Then pull it back out, and then because you force everybody to collapse, and then it breaks down the defense. Even given at that time, I would be more than happy to take free throws. Let Crash just run right into people and just bowling pin them down.
That is a strategy he endorses.
And he's been embracing it in the tournament, or not even in the tournament, even starting in the conference tournament.
Yeah,
when he's
been on a bit of a heater. He was kind of nursing the ankle or maybe the foot on the bench. I had a couple people texting me from inside the arena saying that he was getting it stretched out and was kind of off to himself. He did come back in the game after that, so something to monitor, maybe not be worried about, but I would definitely make sure you keep an eye on that. The seeding was crap. That's a 3 seed right there. We said that Sunday night. This is a 3 seed playing in the round of 32 against a 1. That's.
I mean, I know that a lot of the people that do the eye test in these idiots out there, they say, well, they lost to St. Mary's twice. You can't be that good if you lost to St. Mary's twice. Maybe
it's
you
a pretty good program too.
I mean, didn't they just book their ticket to the Sweet 16?
Did they? I thought they played tomorrow, but you could be right. I don't know.
Maybe not yet. They won yesterday. They came back and won.
Yeah, they play Alabama tomorrow.
That's the thing is that out there nobody watches them. They're always late. You think East Coast is watching those guys?
I'm not.
And especially if you have to go look for them on the dial.
Yeah, FS2. Juwan looked terrible in the first half and looked like an All-American in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Yeah. Woo. Gonzaga's a damn good team. They won't be the best team we face if we want to win the Natty. Okay. I mean, I think when you face them is kind of outrageous. It shouldn't be that way. But you weathered that storm. You got to the second weekend. And it's all right in front of you. It's not like you did anything wrong.
I don't see a lot of difference between them and Purdue.
I think they're more athletic than Purdue.
Yeah.
I mean,
In the
Purdue
post, in the
feels
post.
very similar to the way they did last year, except now it's a ginger with tattoos instead of Canadian Yao Ming, as you called him. Milos looked a little shaky there. Easy. Milos played a good game. He did what he had to do. When LJ and Jawan are going off, facilitate. Do your job. I just don't think if you overinflate one game for any person, you're going to be pissed off. Just like if LJ had this amazing game. He tied his career high. He was ridiculous from three. And you shouldn't overinflate that either. You move on. Wilson played amazing defense. He did not want to go home today. Jawan, Malik, LJ, Javier Francis did some great things. Your seniors do what seniors do. U of H will only get respect when we win the whole thing is by not having a cakewalk. I think you would take a national title just facing 15 and 16 and 14 seeds. I don't think anybody'd be mad. Whatever. Now, this one is a great comment. I am happy to have never played Battle again. He's been around as long as Jawan's been around. And it's about time to stop playing that guy. The Big 12 is 9-1. Isn't that crazy? It's almost hard to believe that the best conference in the history of basketball just keeps losing big games. Arkansas played a hell of a game today, but the SEC keeps losing. The Big 12 keeps winning. Shout out to St. John's. Had them right there in the national title game.
Oh, me too.
Did you?
I had the lead on day one, and St. John's went ahead and took themselves out of it.
And if you notice, I have Wisconsin in my Final Four there too.
Oh, God. First weekend and half your Final Four is dead.
Yeah.
Good night now.
I don't think that's any different than the way it's been for 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember filling out the bracket in the newspaper with a pencil, and I'm pretty sure those went the same way.
Cut it out
So,
and have to put it in your blue jean jacket pocket.
I don't think I had a blue jean jacket
They
pocket.
give your little ducktail fluff.
I would wear the windbreakers that were part of the suit. I don't even know what you call that. They were Reebok, is what I remember.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I had Reebok shoes to match my
Was it fluorescent?
my windsuit. Oh yeah, I mean it was the 90s.
Yeah.
I was basically wearing the exact same clothes my grandmother was wearing, which not what you'd hope for. We're just going through comments to let everybody enjoy tonight. Has anyone else noticed Carr's best games are against our best opponent? Yeah. That's what big players do. Jamal was the same way. That's just what they've been conditioned to do. Gonzaga was not going to go quietly. Knew it would come down to a 2-minute war of attrition. Toughest team won. I think that's accurate. Congrats to our beloved Cougs. We must learn not to make silly fouls. One area we must watch out.
Agree.
I did not have a real problem with the way the game was called. And
I think it got a little.
It got a little hairy late.
They called stuff late that they weren't calling in the first half.
But that's an NCAA tournament game, and really any college basketball game. Refs think that, I was drinking water. I didn't want anybody to see that anymore. Refs think that they're only graded on the second half for some reason. And so they just call it so differently. And it's pretty wild. Gonzaga was the highest metric rated 8 seed in tournament history. Yes, they should not have been there. We all agree. Gonzaga looked like a pro team. Never seen an offense so efficient. Yeah, I mean, they that's what happens. You have old guys with a great coach. It turns out that's probably the best way to do it. People are not happy with the press and the trap. Star Pizza. Go to Mara and get you some Star Pizza from the good people at Star Pizza. Star Pizza. We don't have Galen to make fun of the way I say this. They played in Austin today. And so he had family come up. And so he is going to go hang out with them. He's not going to be here. But he's not here to make fun of the way I say Star Pizza. But Star Pizza. Get you some Star Pizza. We were hoping to get some interviews, but the internet in the arena is terrible again today. Wichita seems like it's had some issues.
Why is Wichita even a decision? I mean, why is that? Why does playing there even make sense?
Because you have to have a region near Kansas. I mean, it's just how it's always been done. If you look at U of H's history in the tournament, I think over half of the times they have gone to Kansas, Manhattan, Kansas City, Wichita. I went to St. Louis once or twice, but they always have one there. They always have one in that upper Midwest, Chicago, Indianapolis, Detroit, and then usually one really close to where Duke and North Carolina are, Charlotte, Raleigh.
Yeah.
And then the western half of the country gets like a little dot, Denver, Salt Lake City. But, I mean, it's just how it's always been. And I don't ever see it changing. But if those are the people that are going to buy tickets, they're never going to change that. So, I mean, you've seen the crowds that you've gotten in Houston for non-Final Fours. Okay. And really not a great environment. Uh-oh. I love that Starnes puts ball knower in his name. It's really odd. EK would not go away.
The knower of balls.
That's not great. But good luck, Starnes. That kid is really good. He was fun to watch.
Who?
EK.
Yeah.
I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, his 2 threes were, good Lord, looked like he was punting it, but whatever. I guess it went in. But with its back to the basket, that guy was tough.
And I mean, you're talking about a big back to the basket guy, and was 9-9 from the line. I mean,
right.
That does not happen. That's legit. Brandon,
I'm just looking forward to playing the immobile bigs of Purdue.
Yeah. Lurch.
And just giant slee stacks.
Brandon, this comment is going to stay starred. We're not going to take it out of the stars. I don't think we win this game if we don't lose those games earlier in the season. Yes. But you don't win the Big 12 without those losses. You don't win the Big 12. I mean, it all prepared you for what you're doing now. And you don't want to lose them, but it's not that big a deal. Can you learn from it? And, the old guy who's in charge has figured out that those games don't make or break your season when you play legit basketball in February and March. Turns out he's right. But I agree with you, Brandon, 100%.
Yeah, he kind of knows what he's doing as far as getting his team prepared with the schedule that it's got. I think he does that for a reason. Like there's a method to his madness.
Almost. And he prepares a schedule for the team that he has,
Yes.
or that he expects to have. And this year was different than it's been in the last few years. And it worked out. Memphis used the trap. Yes. They pressed. And you sucked against it. Yes. Memphis was super athletic and would play their Super Bowl twice a year. And sometimes you lost. But hopefully Memphis enjoys watching the Sweet 16 and enjoys their one tournament win in a decade. Congrats. Malik in the last 4 minutes. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Malik had a steal, offensive rebound. He had 2 offensive rebounds. One was the tip back to extend one that we shot at the end of the shot clock, and he got a tip back to keep it going. And then he got the offensive rebound that led to a free throw.
In one possession, or are you just saying for the game?
No, in the last 3-4 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then, of course, there at the end.
What did you think about the pace of the first 8 to 10 minutes of that second half?
I thought it was fun.
Different for U of H to play that way and to do it pretty well. Like they look pretty good.
Oh, we don't play slow because we can't. We don't play slow because we can't run. We play deliberate for a reason. And it's just all part of it. If Kelvin wanted to go and just go crazy on offense, every one of these teams would be great out in the open court and just letting them just run and gun. They'd be ideal for that. But we want to play it a different way. And we can play it. Our offense and our players are designed for efficiency, which means we can dominate with less shots. Other teams need volume shots. Normally, Gonzaga needs volume. Tonight, they hit everything in the second half.
Tell me not to respond to people on Twitter.
Don't respond to people on Twitter.
Yeah. You've been hearing a lot about gamblers and how they have
That's just
been
the
kind of
that's just the new
dickheads.
Scapegoat.
I don't think it's a scapegoat at all. The people in this program, the players in this program for years have chosen, basically they don't follow anyone because they don't want that stuff in their DMs, and it's just the best way to deal with it is to not see the outside noise. But when you start to see it, it affects people. Gamblers are fucking assholes. And if your life and your money is riding on a college age kid, get a life. Stop being a loser. You miss a shot. Well, damn, my school lost. Well, that's going to suck for a day or two, but I'm not going to go curse and drop bombs on guys at Kansas or wherever. It's pathetic.
I mean,
And they're hitting me. They're messaging me, and I have nothing to do with it. I'm sitting at home.
I just think
So
assholes are getting more and more. They're
brave.
getting more
Not
and more.
brave.
They're
Mouthy.
getting more and more boisterous on
Yeah.
social media because they can't say that in person.
Shut the fuck up, gamblers.
Or say it to people in person.
Yeah. Or
Want to run your mouth in person, that then you have consequences.
Go play roulette. Last year, Coach said Tugler was a game changer. Even as a gangly freshman, he was. Now we see what he saw. In the first 2 minutes of that game, 3 minutes of that game, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon. He was everywhere. Offensive rebounds, steals, blocks. I think both of his blocks came in the first 3 minutes.
And did it click?
He was nuts. Oh, yeah. He was nuts. And
I think-
Gonzaga has not seen that in the West Coast Conference.
No. Not many teams have seen anything like that, regardless of conference.
Mm-hmm.
It's early in the game. His man got away from him whenever he monstered the post, and it looked like it was going to be an easy just dump off down low, and he ended up covering so much ground just to get the block without barely leaving the ground to go block it. It's like, man, that wingspan seems to grow during the middle of games. Just amazing how much he can bait people into taking shots, and they think they're clear, and he's got it.
This was preparation unlike anyone else has gotten so far in the tournament. Good luck, Purdue. And not sure if this was addressed already, but under 2 or 3 minutes, why are you picking the ball up when crossing half court? It's a good question. Gonzaga was already pressing, and now they trapped you. What is the best way to deal with this, Brad? This is where I wish we had Galen, because I think he's knowledgeable right in this spot.
Getting ball to the middle of the floor. You've got to have guys. We have too many people standing around,
Accurate.
jumping up and down, hoping somebody will pass it to them instead of breaking to the ball. Yeah, you shouldn't pick up that dribble. And I mean, too many times we dribbled right into the trap with guys just standing around. You've got to be able to move to the ball from different positions. Now, yes, you've got to keep spacing. So, everybody has to know their role, and it looked very hesitant on it.
So you think the two guys on the wings who are standing still, basically, like, look at me, need to come up and help out?
Well, they are to an extent.
They're the guards, right?
They're coming back, but you've got to be able to find open space, and they weren't finding open space. They were moving, but they were moving in lanes that were basically blocked by the trap.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you can always do a cross-court pass out of that, and you're just going to have to do a moonshot that nearly got picked off.
Yeah.
You saw that? I mean, that's what we do to people. We do the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's the design of the defense. The design is to get a soft pass as a worst case scenario, and they did a good job.
They have meaning Purdue, a 7-footer, but he's a typical lumbering big. JoJo is going to juggle and do circus acts all around him. Now, whether he can prevent himself from picking up 3 in the first 45 seconds, that's gonna kind of be the game down low. I think if JoJo can stay clean on fouls, he will absolutely embarrass these tall, slow, goofy-looking
Honkies.
white dudes. Yeah. Woodrow's tracks Friday. There goes the liver. Is Gonzaga better than Purdue? I don't know if they're better. It's a more athletic team. Could be a harder matchup, but I don't know if they're better. But Purdue has faced the same type of team all year. Big, slow, lumbering white dudes like themselves. And, you can figure out how to make that work for you. U of H opens as a 7.5-point favorite against Purdue. That is really high.
That's going to
I think that'll adjust. Yeah.
Let it. Don't touch it. Let it fall.
We don't gamble.
I think it'll
And
probably
we don't
settle
get
in
mad
around-
at kids when we do gamble.
Probably settling around 4.5, 5. But I mean, when you look at Purdue, their offensive rating is number 7. Gonzaga was number 6. Defensively, 56. Gonzaga, 30. I think the difference is athleticism. I think there's more athletes on Gonzaga, in the fact that they can play up tempo more so than what Purdue normally would be able to.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Boy, you said it.
I don't
It'll be
think they have
interesting.
the X factor. Well, I know they don't have the X factor on the sideline like TU does.
What do you mean? Like
I
few
think
does?
if you're in a situation with 10, 11 minutes go and you got a 14-point lead, you ended up walking away winning by 26 against Purdue.
Okay.
Not saying we're going to beat them by 26.
No.
But if you're in that situation, they're not going to respond the way Gonzaga does, or Gonzaga, whichever way you want to say it.
Gonzaga. Never Gonzaga.
I mean, it's like the difference between calling, pecans and pecans or pecans.
That's just weird. It's pecans. Always has been.
That's what
We need an EK at U of H. Shaquem needs to start sending his countrymen. I think you've done okay without an EK or someone like that. I mean, it's hard to say that they have recruited the wrong types of people when you're so weighed down with all the rings.
I think we've got we'll have something special.
You have
for them
a
next year.
something, something pretty good in CNAC. Ryan Nimhan was a tough matchup for Milos. He is an elite point guard, 100%. He had 6 assists pretty early, like 13 minutes in. I was like, when? Like he flowed so well through that game that it's almost like you miss it. Sampson hugged Khalif Battle after the game. Battle was crying, kind of onto Kelvin's shoulder. And, Battle has a lot of respect for Kelvin and what he's done here, having faced him so much. And
Oh God, yeah, I've been
that was
playing
a
him
pretty
forever.
cool. Yeah, all of Juwan's 27 years at U of H. I heard Gonzaga wasn't a good 3-point shooting team. They nailed them tonight. So since they put that kid in, they started Huff. They have shot the 3-pointer better. He's not the one doing it, but they were 9 at 20, 45%. I think they did something crazy like that in the first round.
When in the first half, they were what we thought we were. They
were
3.
0-7 at one point.
Yeah, I think they made 2, shot like 20% first half.
Okay.
In the second half, they were just on fire.
They went 12
And
to 20 in the first round.
That's the thing about sports is that no matter how good you think you are, the other team has a say.
Yeah. Francis continues to be solid, especially with the rebounding, and it's no longer, oh no, he's at the free throw line. That's right. All right, you got this. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a senior doing senior things. He only shot 2. Those were early in the game. He missed the first, made the second. I fell for it. St. John's was New York media darling. I fell for it. That was on me.
The best thing about St. John's losing is Spike Lee can go beep him.
What do you have against Spike Lee?
I've always hated that guy.
Why?
As a sports fan.
Well, I mean, he's just a jock sniffer.
Exactly. He's always on the court, juggling balls and polishing knobs.
Is he a ball knower? Is that what you're saying?
He's probably.
Okay. How could you not put Florida there? Yeah, well, whatever. They're somewhere else. They're not there. I'm an idiot. Jawan has played in the Sweet 16 nearly every single year. Well,
every year
besides
there was a tournament.
Yeah. Every year there was a tournament he's played. So he's been here 6 years. 5 of those have been in the Sweet 16. And then you missed a year. And then the year before he came, they were in the Sweet 16? I don't know. But it's been quite a bit. Love the Star Pizza. Thank you. Star Pizza. We have nothing to do with that, but, Star Pizza.
I think my heart rate finally slowed down to normal.
From the game?
Yeah.
No. That was one of the best games I've watched. Hats off to Gonzaga. They do not give up. I think cruise is a
I'm with you. Let's
weird
go.
word.
Let's go with it.
I think you have a legitimate shot. You got to see what happens tomorrow with the other part of the bracket. But, yeah.
Well, this was a really, really big test. And, there's an X factor sitting out there that kind of been ghosting. And I think he's going to make some plays before it's all over with. Just keep an eye on Arsenault because I think he breaks out.
Okay. Is this just a gut feeling or?
Gut feeling.
Okay. And if he doesn't, we can blame you. Star Pizza. There are mean comments about to come. One I don't really understand. When Ryan said he wore his grandmother's outfits in the 90s, first off, I didn't say that.
Jesus Christ, Buffalo Bill. I didn't. When did you say that?
I mean, I didn't say, hey, remember when I cross-dressed in the 90s? I said that everybody wore pastel colors and weird shapes, and it's just what it was. Did not wear my grandmother's clothes. She was a big lady. Her name was Myrtle, by the way. Myrtle Fanny. And we called her Myrtle Turtle or Granny Fanny. I went down the road of Blanche from the Golden Girls. You rocked that, Ryan. Bring it back. I have no idea hopefully Ethan has had a really good night but I didn't wear my grandmother's clothing. That would have gotten pretty weird. Mom, I promise I did not wear Granny's clothing. Tennessee is about to win this game over UCLA. I guess it's the last game of the night. It is 11 o'clock.
I mean, I would hope so.
Well, it just feels like there was nothing all day. And then.
True. Yeah, I don't like the fact that it's one game, and then all of a sudden they bunch them all up at the same time.
Well, that's because nobody watches TV in the afternoon. Nobody's anchor to the TV for an entire day. Thankfully, I had 3 hours at football practice to distract me.
That's fun.
Yeah,
At least it was a nice day.
it was a great day. Played golf yesterday, great day. Did this today, great day. There were like 25 recruits at practice. Tried to get all their names, didn't get them all, missed a couple. But really, really focused on offensive line. And we'll see how that works out. I think that's the right way to go. Just load up. You can go transfer portal every receiver and running back in the country, but you're not going to bring in great offensive linemen from the portal.
And hopefully you get to a point to where you can have a backlog of them, of guys just rolling through.
A 5 or 6 year cycle of guys. And
I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to keep guys.
Yes.
So, I mean, I just think you've got to constantly have more. And, I know everybody wants to recruit 100% portal, but I mean, the people who understand and learn the balance of developing their players and keep recruiting high school, because some of those guys are going to stick.
Okay.
There's going to be guys you're going to be able to get that you might not have been able to get in the past because everybody else is chock full of transfers.
The rotation Coach Sampson has been using all year has worked out marvelously. The deep bench has kept the starters fresh. I think that's fairly true. I mean, you're going to go with an 8-man rotation. You feel pretty confident about 6, 7, and 8. And to this point, you have avoided kind of a soul-crushing injury. You've had them, and you've had, Emmanuel with long stretches, Jawan with stretches, Arsenault, but nothing like you've seen the last couple years. Seasons ending in December and February.
I like that he mixes and matches and going with the small lineup, give a different look, changes some things up a little bit. I think it gives us a lot of different options.
In the West Coast Conference tournament, championship game, they were 1 of 17 from 3. Well, they've made up for it in the last 2 games, going 12 of 20 in the first round, and then what'd they go? You said they were 45%, 9 of 20 today. I mean, that's okay. That's okay. They're over 50%.
It's not terrible, I will say that.
Damn it, my little brother ate my last star pizza.
That's grounds for a beating.
Look here. Don't do that. I was going to say something much meaner, but I don't know the kid.
You got to teach lessons.
Love the hoodie, Ryan. I got the Houston versus everybody Columbia blue on today. I don't know why. Towns is in a mood. Okay. Chill, Towns. Man, what a hot take, Brad. Wow, man, you're just taking it all of a sudden. What is happening? But at least you weren't told that you were wearing your grandmother's clothing.
Well, that's true.
What the fuck is happening?
I don't know.
It's just rude is what it is. There are good people here, and you're all a bunch of assholes. There is no RuPaul in this. Look at that. That's a polo shirt. That's Ralph Lauren. And sure, the hair is a little white trash Louisiana, but things happen. It's okay. Love the win. Why do we play the possession clock game with 5 minutes left and stop attacking? It's how teams get back in against us. It's happened before. Just don't understand why. You care to answer this?
I mean, I understand why they do it.
Okay. What's that reason?
Time.
Just killing clock.
Killing clock, but you expect the players to react differently, and they're not reacting differently. But the time is your friend, especially with as many points as we were up.
Okay. You just froze. It feels like you're still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they miss a free throw? No, they did not.
15-15. That's I mean, they're really going to, this one's going to hurt them for a long time. Is this one of those? Is that, what are you going to do? I mean, how can you play better in the second half?
Well, don't you think that might just make it a little easier? Like, we did everything we could. Like, we left it all there.
Yeah, but there's something about just getting beat at your best too that hurts. That you'll remember that. Yeah, you'll laugh through it and you'll grin and say, "Yeah, that was a good team. That was tough to lose."
Yeah, maybe so.
Close losses are killers, and when you look back at how good you played, it hurts even more. Because then you really think about that one turnover, that one miss, that one thing. I mean, if we were in Gonzaga's shoes, we would be talking about shit that fell apart in the first half.
Was last year with Duke like that for you? Like, well, if this would have happened, or if Jamal goes down 3 minutes later, because I don't feel like it was really that soul crushing, but maybe I'm just seeing it from a different angle.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it would be, we're fortunate to haven't been on many losses, being on the other end of losses like this. I mean,
all of your losses have been close for the last 6 years. You've got two outside of 10 points. But
we know why we can say we did not play well in most of those losses. If you shoot 60% and 66 from three, if we do that, we usually win by about 35.
Yeah.
I mean, their thought process, or my thought process, if I was Gonzaga, it would be, if it was any other team that you played, you win that game.
Maybe. You're now, since the start of the 21-22 season, you're now 129-19. That is so flippin' ridiculous. But you moved to 8-4 in games that Pat Adams was a referee. It is so wild that a quarter of your losses are with that guy on the floor. And he's the reason we started tracking referees, that guy. And I just bring back the mullet for football season.
Oh, please don't.
Ryan had the mullet while cross-dressing. Okay, you just made me snort. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. Ryan, are you going to Indy? Yes, going to Indy. Going to St. Elmo's, the steakhouse, Thursday night.
Unless it's sleet storm.
Fuck, you know what? No, because I'm flying Southwest, and they don't give a shit.
Oh, good Lord.
United. So I fly out a hobby. It's just so much easier for me. And every time I go to Intercontinental, it's a fucking mess. And it was a mess with Wichita. It was a mess going, well, maybe it's just going to Kansas because it was the same way going to Kansas State. Got flights canceled all day. We need on-site coverage. You're going to get on-site coverage unless, and then if the flights do get canceled, Towns and I are taking Greyhound to Indianapolis together.
I don't think I'm allowed on Greyhound anymore.
Well, there is that.
I think I was banned back in 1996. The late 1900s was a weird time for me.
Continue. I just don't see how you can make a claim like that. I was cross-dressing in my grandmother's clothing, allegedly. This is going to be like the Roy thing, isn't it? I'm going to not hear about this. I'm going to hear about it for like a fucking year.
I mean, I guess we've never seen pictures of the Green River Killer and you in the same room. So
yeah, there you go.
He rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
As fun as it is, it's not normal to be this good for this long. Well, you went 20 years without winning 3 meaningful games, basically. From when Alvin took over until Kelvin got there, it was a wasteland. I played golf with a guy yesterday who went to Tulane but grew up here, and he's just a little younger than me. And he was like, yeah, I went to a game with Kenyon Martin at Hoffines, and I went to a game, Derrick Rose. He was like, so you went to see the other team? He was like, yeah. Like, why would I go see U of H?
Uh-huh.
And it's a whole generation from people that graduated high school in about 1990, right around your age, to 2002 for football, and to 2012 for basketball. We're lost. And you're never going to get that generation back. You'll get people, but not that whole generation. And that sucks. But
well, it's rare for U of H to have this kind of streak, but it's rare for a lot of schools outside of the Blue Bloods.
right.
Not many people. I mean, how many people have gone 6 straight Sweet 16s?
Not many. I mean, for a school like U of H, where it was to do it is ridiculous. For a school like Gonzaga, who's in the middle of nowhere and is a small private, that's amazing. And so the 2 teams you saw today, that it's so out of line. And I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's the game that you saw, the 2 teams that you saw today were essentially built by G5. We're only in year 2, and this is just a carryover. We're not still established we won't, with U of H has only cashed 1 check from the Big 12, and it's still a partial payment. So we're not reaping the benefits other than association. So, I mean, really what you saw was a product of 2 teams who were not considered big enough, who just said, screw it, we're going to do it. We're going to win anyhow.
The thing you just said, you've cashed 1 partial check, yet you have 3 Big 12 championship trophies. That's insane.
Yes. 3 out of 4.
We will think
3 out of 4 available. We've got.
You will think like how a couple generations before think of the late 70s in football, where you won 3 out of 4 Southwest Conference titles. Like you established yourself. You just came in and started punching people. That's what you've done in basketball. And it's maybe not the same in Texas, and it's not against those same, UT and A&M and Arkansas. But this is every bit as impressive. And you were on a financial level sort of playing field then. You're nowhere close now.
Well, even the top money wasn't so far separated from the bottom money.
No.
I mean, even with a partial payment, I mean, our budget is well below the guys in our conference. Now, once we're up to full speed, our budget gets much more competitive. But the beauty of the Big 12 going forward, I think you'll have Kansas and Arizona at the top. But there's less than a $50 million difference. Now, when you compare that with OU and Texas previously in the conference, it's a $150 million difference.
At least.
So all of us are on similar budgets across the board. Now, NIL is going to be a player in a lot of things.
Accurate. But I think U of H will be okay NIL-wise in basketball. You won't in football. Can Houston demand a full Big 12 share now? No. I mean, you can demand it, but
it's
no one's
part of the
going to
contract.
pay it. Yeah, you've got a contract. You'll get to that full
I
share.
think we're at 3/4 this year, and then next year
It'll be
first.
the year. Yeah.
Our first. So I mean, you'll start to see the effects of the real payout in the next 3 seasons, or after 3 seasons from now.
I think it's
Now next year,
sooner than that, but something like that.
it's going to take a year once you get a full payment for it to circulate and to
Right. Okay.
for us to be
That's
able to
fair.
spend it.
And then you've got to figure out what the other side of Cullen is going to expect and require for paying back some of that subsidy. It's there.
Now ain't the time to stop that.
Well, I agree with that, but we'll just have to see. I don't know that everybody is on the same page with that, especially with some of the changes that are happening right now.
True.
Here.
This U of H and Gonzaga is a March Madness Elite Eight game.
Gonzaga.
Ken Palm, Evan Maya.
Go ahead, Duarte.
Know this, but the committee didn't. It's a really good question. I really think the committee is special in that they have certain needs that require certain attention. That they need to make sure that they're wearing helmets and maybe a mouth guard.
Okay, we're just turning him off for a minute. I just can't deal with this right now. You can't say that, Brad. It's clear that they had somebody on a seed and they're like, oh, just switch them with Gonzaga at the last minute. I don't know if it's Memphis or somebody else, but Gonzaga got screwed.
That's the thing is you see that we've got all these advanced metrics to be able to go by, but then they'll make a justification for a seed based on the AP or the coaches poll. It's like, oh well, Gonzaga they dropped out the AP. It's like, who the fuck cares?
I think we need to start the crusade to just have all of it done by AI. It would cost $0. It would happen like that. You spin it 10,000 times and whatever makes the most sense, you just go with it. That'll never happen, but yeah.
I mean, the argument against all the analytics is, well, somebody's going to pass the eye test. What eye test? What eye test told you that the shit-tastic North Carolina should have been into the tournament, or the turd burglars at UT should have been in the tournament? All of them are just heaping wastes of space. And then they got so much wrong in this tournament. It's unfreaking believable. I can't believe that humans actually sat down and put that together. In humans who were supposed to be intelligent.
Took a long time to do it too. A lot of meetings. A lot of meetings. Why does Purdue get a home game? It's no different than U of H getting San Antonio a couple years ago. If you beat them, you go to San Antonio again, or if you beat them and whoever you see in the Elite Eight. It's not great, and that's why I thought the West would be the way to go. Tech's got a much cleaner look out there, but it is what it is. You know, you're always going to have to play somebody kind of close to where they live, and it's not right, but it's just how it is. After seeing that picture of you, Ryan, I've never felt so wrong. You accuse me of wearing my grandmother's clothes. That's a U of H women's dorm slayer mullet. Ryan in the 90s would have been the best wingman. Okay, either I'm a slayer or I'm a wingman. I can't be both. Sam's boat back in the day. No, that would have never happened. Star Pizza. Good people. Better pizza.
It is fantastic.
Someone tweeted Adam Spillane that Kelvin's last game as IU head coach was against Purdue with Matt Painter as their head coach. I don't know if that's true. He was fired with a little bit left to go in that second season. But now this is a good point. This team loves hostile environments. Galen's been talking about this a lot, about how you get into that bunker mentality when you're on the road in a hotel with your team, with your guys. And you did not play well in Vegas, and you didn't play well at Toyota Center. But since then, you have been dynamite away from home. You had 10 road wins, 3 in the conference tournament, and 2 here in this tournament. So that's 15 in a row away from home. That ain't bad.
And, we've gone into some tough arenas.
Yeah. And this will be, they're doing it in Lucas Oil, so it'll be partitioned off. It'll be 25 or 30,000 people, whatever. And it'll be a lot of Purdue people, then perhaps Illinois. And Kentucky still has a chance to be right there. That's the best thing. You don't want Kentucky. If you do, you've got chalk all the way through the bracket if they win tomorrow. But Kentucky takes up a lot of those seats. Purdue takes up a lot of those seats. So it kind of evens it out. Another 6 degrees of separation. Former Purdue coach Gene Cady was one of the names mentioned when Guy V retired. I mean, Gene Cady had done quite a bit at that point. Tubby Smith is who you always hear, but they settled on Alvin, who was just not ready for it at the time.
Not close.
No. Can you expand on the JoJo foul that Coach went ballistic over? I assume this means the flagrant, and I can explain it as in he put his shoulder down and knocked the hell out of somebody. You would encourage that in football, but
It was a good crackback.
It was yeah, it's exactly what it was. But I mean, it's clearly a foul. It's clear. I thought it was clearly flagrant.
Yeah, I didn't have.
I mean, there's just nothing about basketball in that move. I mean, the ball was still on the other side of the timeline, I believe. So, I just don't. I don't think it's that big a deal. It did kind of change the momentum, but
was it a 5
or 6 point? Yeah, it went from 14 to 8, I think, in that spot.
I mean, it wasn't Don't get me wrong. It wasn't the reason everything went close. I mean, it changed the momentum a little bit, but, momentum could be changed any of those threes that they had too. I mean, just hard to put away a team like Gonzaga.
Our good friend Cyclone Larry, who has a pretty active Twitter account, Iowa State fan, says the Houston, Iowa State, BYU, Texas Tech Final Four is going to be incredible. That's worth paying for. I don't know how you'll do that with the greatest conference ever in the history of the world right there, but, whatever.
Big 12 tournament 2.0.
Yeah, you've done well in
That's
that
the
so far this
Big
year.
12 tournament we should have, not the other one.
Yeah, that one I'm fine with. Kelvin hugging battle is getting a lot of run on social media. There are certain guys that Kelvin just respects the hell out of, and he lets them know. And I appreciate that about him. Like, I have battled you, and this has been a treat. And battle, I mean, he ended his career, and that was an emotional moment, and good for TBS, TNT, CBS, whoever, for capturing that. JoJo did a downfield block. That's pretty true, Kenneth. That's pretty true.
Hey, he could moonlight in the off season and be a field goal blocker.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna,
what Fendi Onabun did for us,
you've had a lot
back
of
in the
guys.
Browse day.
Man, I'm just blanking on the guy's name. Who's the guy that blocked the kick at Rice in 2000? You weren't there. You left at halftime of that game. Joe. It wasn't Joe Clay. I don't remember. Yeah, you bailed at halftime because. Why do I remember this? Towns and I were at Rice. We went out to the parking lot because they had pass outs back then. We had a drink. And Towns announces, "Hey, I'm going home. I got to take a shit."
Yep.
And 20 years later, I still have this top of mind. I don't quite understand what's happening.
There's
in
not
my life.
There's not a chance I do that in public restrooms.
Well, not at Rice.
They don't
have doors.
Not at any sporting event.
Okay.
It's going to be like Costanza.
There you go. Coach's class, man, when it's all said and done, we need a statue or street or building named after him. I'm not a statue person, but I have no problem naming a building after him. I don't know how you get the basketball buildings named after him, the practice facility and the arena, but yeah, name a parking garage after him or a building, or the AAC. You could name that after him. I guess John Moore's name is on it somewhere, but you figure it out. That's a good problem to have. Who do we? This is a great question. Who do we think Corey picks for the game's drawing? Honestly, Kelvin hugging battle wouldn't be a bad choice. I think that's pretty accurate. I would. Maybe it's JoJo throwing that shoulder. Just kidding. I would probably go with LJ shooting a three, if I had to guess. Maybe Jawan, but that Kelvin image that's powerful. But I don't know.
The funny thing about LJ, he's such a good player, but I don't think his facial expression has changed in 2 years.
No.
He's just calm, cool, and you can't tell if he's 10 for 10 or 0 for 10, not by the look on his face.
I'm going to say that when we're at practice, everybody's really lighthearted. I mean, they've just gone through 90 minutes or 2 hours of Kelvin Sampson. And so everybody's, taking a breath after practice and joking and having a good time. But he's not that person. He goes and does his business. And I love that.
Hey man,
there's
you give me a cold-blooded assassin that just
Yeah.
goes out and just
flatline.
yeah.
That's just that's what you want. Speaking of Costanza, Brad, I love the Drake. Enjoyed watching them live tonight. The Drake. Okay. More swag, Grimes Mullet, or the Magnesium Manager. I am so over this kid. And I've muted his name on Twitter. I'm so over him. I have never done that I had never muted anything.
Hey
And
man, I props to the kid for
go
going
get
and
your
getting
money.
paid.
Because student
Hey, that's
manager is an unpaid job.
I mean, I saw that somebody said he's got enough NIL deals to make 6 figures this year off
Good
of
for
that.
him.
That's insane.
Six
I mean-
figures in Lake Charles goes quite a ways.
Oh, yes, it do.
Yes, it do.
I mean, you hit the boat cash your check at the boat and you're good to go. You get a
Yeah.
couple of free spins on the wheel.
Here's what I worry about is
Or is
that
that
it's
just for-
going to.
Was that only in Greenville on the boat?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When we get our paychecks, when I played for Greenville, we go down to the riverboat after the game. We get our paychecks. You get to spin the wheel, and you have a chance to double your paycheck.
I've never heard that, but I've never cashed a paycheck at a casino, at a riverboat.
Oh yeah, boss.
We
move.
just have such life experience differences.
What you never spent a summer in Greenville, Mississippi,
Well, I did not.
at a
Spent
hunting lodge,
probably
literally 50 yards from the Mississippi River.
Yeah, well, that happens. Don't mind it. Love that Mississippi River.
Right in the middle of
But-
the Delta Pine cotton field.
This kid and other student managers, it's going to become like a TikTok craze. You're going to see it everywhere of these swaggy kids. And I mean, I don't care. I think it's great that he got his money. That's awesome. Go get your money. You have a finite amount of time to do this because no one's going to care now that they've lost. So good for him. Good for him. He could transfer to NC State. Oh, they would eat him up. That's the way to get more money, is if you go with Will Wade, and you become a supermarket obsession. LJ kind of has boring thing going like Tim Duncan did. What did Shaq called him, the big fundamental?
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a bad sense, but sometimes you look up and he has 15 points and you don't know where they came. That's 100% true.
Absolutely.
I mean,
he's
there's one thing flashy about him, and it's that step back, which I think is the coolest damn thing. But otherwise, it's just he's just so solid. He hits the floater, which is a really nice looking shot. And today he hit a fadeaway jumper
in the corner.
Like where did but he has been feeling it. And I mean, you can't deny that guy is on it. He's on a mission, and it's really cool to see. And he has, he's done everything he can to take this team, this program to another level.
I mean, there's been times this year where he scored 20 points and you didn't, he would be like the third or fourth person we talk about because you don't remember it. He was just so quiet that's what he does, man.
Saw Shasta on a Coke commercial. This do anything for U of H. I mean, they have that deal with Coca-Cola. And this is a tournament thing, but I mean, it's neat. But I think U of H people think it's a big deal and no one else will. It's just like any other commercial use. Okay. All right.
$50.
Maybe not even that.
It's part of a group licensing deal, I'm sure.
Yes. It's a deal with the NCAA. It's not even with you. Will LJ be drafted? If so, at what number? 43.
Yeah,
That's
he's
where I'm
going to be a
guessing.
late. I would assume he'd be a late second rounder just because they can.
I don't have any knowledge of this. I couldn't even guess. It's not just winning the game. Kelvin Sampson said it's beating a great program like Gonzaga. When does the Purdue game time get released? I don't think they released that now. I think it will be all together tomorrow, but I could be wrong. I just don't remember releasing the game time. But you played the last game last year on Sunday night.
True.
So I just don't remember when they released that. Brad, I'm going to give you some time to talk.
A lot less athletic than Gonzaga.
Accurate.
It's going to be real interesting. My thought going into the game against Gonzaga is that everybody was comparing us to how they played St. Mary's, and St. Mary's is going to do this and do this, and they're going to try to slow it down. It's like we're not even close because they haven't seen the speed that they're about to see. They haven't seen the intensity that they're about to see. They handled it well in the second half. They did great, but that goes double for Purdue. Is man for man, they are dramatically slower at every single position, and you're going to look at U of H. All teams underestimate U of H's size because they just look at height, and
yes,
they don't understand how passing lanes disappear. The length and quickness closes everything out, and every one of the trapping on the pick and roll and monster in the post, all those are meant to cause weak, soft passes and make them have to take chances in very tight windows that it might be open against some teams in the Big 12, but I mean in the Big 10, but against us, those aren't open. And whenever you're going to the other side, odds are we're probably actively baiting you to make that pass. So I think Malik and Crash do a phenomenal job of baiting that pass off the weak side. Because they're going to sit there and tuck in. They'll tuck in behind the post where you can't see them. And then all of a sudden you look and you can see through four arms, you can see your guy open on the far wing. But our guys are hidden for a reason because they're about to pick that off.
Game time might be released tomorrow because have to wait for Illinois, Kentucky. That's 100%. I think that's probably what's going to happen. No. Forget that Wichita is where the Michigan game happened. Yes. That's why you don't see Galen here tonight. It's because he doesn't want to talk about Wichita. I blame him. But, yeah, that's where it happened. And you had some losses to Greg Marshall there. And what are you laughing at? Shed FaceTime Ramon after the game. He was saying he was watching and he was stressed out. Also wanted to know why we did that to him. That's kind of funny. those guys still, you see it with Galen, that he lives and dies with this. Marcus is the same way. Jamal is the same way. Deaky, they all live and die with this stuff, and just like everyone else. And so it's
these guys come through, and when it's the things that we say and the things that you hear them talk about are not cliches, they're real. They are truly a family. They are guys who live and breathe for each other. They play the game for each other and for the coaches, and they take ownership of this program. And when you do that, it never goes away. And you see their dedication. I mean, they all come back when they have a day off during the season, but they're all back here training in the off season. They're all playing pickup games all summer long. This is home, and these guys they're always welcome, of course, but this is something they want to do because they really have bought in so much that it's your second nature. This is where you go.
okay. Yeah, stuff's coming in. Not to be negative, I love the W, but we need to put teams away. Should not be keeping teams around. Only thing that scares me, but we look good. I mean, it's a top 10 team. You're not playing a scrub. This is not SIUE. I mean, Gonzaga has as much street cred as anybody in the country, save UConn's 2-year run here.
I mean, in a perfect world, absolutely. I would have loved to extend that 14-point lead and spent the last 4 minutes just drinking gravy. Want to see if you'd react. I just want to make sure that we're 1 point ahead when the final buzzer, whether it's regulation or any number of overtimes.
Okay. I understand that, but couldn't beat the press. Yeah, it got the best of you. And that's an adjustment you can make. It's been odd. You just don't see the press very much. And so a lot of teams you don't spend a lot of time working on it. And it's clear that they have, it's not been a priority, it would seem. So someone just brought this up, and this is one of the interesting things for me. You had 19 assists on 29 field goals today. You only had 11 in the first game of the tournament. They were humming it. It looked so good early on. And in that first 10 minutes of the second half, I guess. So there you go. Love the channel, guys. Go Cougs. Brad, what do people do when they love the channel?
Go ahead and hit that like button. And you know what? Even if you don't like it, go ahead and hit the dislike button. Interactions are interactions.
Well, I disagree.
But Tickle, hey, I just want your honest opinion. Can't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I don't care about you. Yeah, give your honest opinion. That's awesome. But
We prefer
go to
like.
YouTube. Yeah, go to YouTube, youtube.com/sign Go
Yeah.
Cougs. That's the one I'm talking about. They knew. And enjoy. Thank you so much for doing that, and we appreciate it.
So you can get notified of everything that we do.
Yeah, he's more into the bell than I am.
Well,
'Cause I don't think it really works.
it does,
It doesn't work on mine.
because you probably
I'm an
did
idiot.
it on your sock account and you haven't logged into that in a while.
No, I don't even know any other password except the one I got in right now. I don't know why you would need a sock account for YouTube.
So you can So you can make comments on your own videos.
I am a
You
Lundy.
suck.
Kelvin is that dude.
That is true. Is everybody worn out?
I actually have way more energy now than I did when that game ended.
Like my
Like I
arms
thought we
feel
were going to
crazy
do
heavy.
20 minutes. Well, guess what?
They probably are.
Yeah. Tonight concerned me, but I like the Final Four path. Thanks at GoCoogs. Look at that. There we go. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Give us your final thoughts. Let's see how this goes.
Survive in advance. Cougs do what they do. And, another Sweet 16. Still a lot left to go, and I like our chances. I like every game that we could possibly play from here on out. I don't care who it is. We expect to play the best, and I think this team can match up with anybody. So enjoy this, and just embrace the quality while we got it.
Embrace the journey. This is the fun part. It's not, the destination is fun, but those of you that have been here since that you had the exhibition against A&M, those people, first game Jackson State, then you go to Auburn, then you go to Vegas, then you have that weird December, and then you start the conference in Stillwater. And went to, where all did they go? Kansas State, West Virginia, Kansas. Those people have been chugging. There's people that come on board later, after NFL, after whatever. Cool. Y'all are in it too. I'm seeing some things from the TV guys that are in Kansas that clearly just don't know what's been happening for the last 6 months. Yes, U of H does win a lot of games when Malik wears long sleeves. But embrace that journey. This is really what college basketball is about. There's a segment that's here for March, and that's cool. But there's a segment that is here this entire time, and you have seen this team grow from that A&M exhibition to what you're seeing today. And that, to me, with this program more than any I've ever been around or covered or anything, it's just so much fun to see that journey of these guys are getting better. This team is coming together. Like, I thought this team was solid as a unit early. They had some losses, but I thought they were good. But it has turned to another level. And I think you're going to have a fun ride. And you got Friday, you got Sunday. It could be a lot of fun, but enjoy it. Even you could lose Friday, and it's still an amazing journey. 2 Big 12 titles. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's probably weird for a lot of people to hear, but for me, the postseason's gravy. I care about the regular season and the regular season title.
I do too.
Because anything can happen in the postseason. It wasn't a lesser of a season because Jamal got hurt last year, and that injury probably kept us out of the Final Four. What can you do? The season wasn't lessened by us going ice cold against Villanova after making a run to the Elite Eight.
I think the regular season is so much bigger of a deal than the tournament. Obviously, no one else thinks that, but this is a blast. The last 3 days during the season, I watch some Big 12. I watch every minute of U of H. And I don't watch a ton of other basketball just because I spend so much time around it and in it that I just need a break. But man, just being totally engrossed in it for 3 days has been a blast, and, be there tomorrow too. And the tournament does have its appeal and there's a special spot, and going on this trip, this 6-game extra season is fun, but enjoy it. We're not playing, so just have fun. I think we get so wrapped up in, everything sucks if we don't do this. No, I'm not doing it. You're not doing it. Just have a good time. Enjoy it. The memories are going to be what you've done, and then how much fun the next couple weeks will be. And man, I didn't realize this until a couple of years ago. And, I was so focused on the tournament or winning a conference title in football or the tournament in baseball. But man, this journey is such a blast. You're at 37 games now. It's pretty cool. I agree, Ryan. Regular season determines champ. Let you know what kind of team you have. I mean, you have seen so much. I just think it's the last 2 years, the regular season has been badass. Like, I didn't live through Southwest Conference. I didn't live through any of that, but this has been extended run, as much fun as I've ever had.
Well, extended run, it's right up there with right in the Elvin Hayes era.
I think that was a much smaller tournament, and it was only a 2 year.
No, what I'm talking about is this is longer.
Oh, for sure.
The level of sustained success.
It's longer than Phi Slamma Jamma and Elvin combined.
Well, I mean, Phi Slamma Jamma was 3 years.
Right, and Elvin was 2. This is longer for what you've done. So the emotions and stress in the postseason, the regular season is more fun, just enjoying the ride. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's different ways to look at that, but they get to have fun. The Sampson family has made it a blast for all U of H fans. I don't see how you could disagree with this. It's been what that family has done here and built here. There's no equivalent, not at U of H. And I mean, is there a school in Texas where you can say a family has done more? I just don't, or maybe even a coach. I'm sure there's a football coach that I'm not thinking about, but man, it's just been a hell of a ride. Okay. So just to clear things up, I never wore my grandmother's clothes, and Brad has been banned by Greyhound. So there we go. Jamie says, wait, nobody watches games all day? Jamie does. He's in Wichita watching the guys. I'm sure it's been a blast for him. Would have been a blast for me, but here I am, sitting at home. But I don't have to travel tomorrow. A natty would be a great ribbon to put on CKS's long career. Yes, I think that would, this fan base could really use that. I think it would solve some problems, but yes, it would be a great thing for him. Love the stream, knowledge absorbed. That's what I was thinking. And thanks for an exciting season in games so far.
Hey, thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Wow, it's way too late.
Oh, there it is, her. Look at that. Huh. All right, guys. We
She must have taken
appreciate
a nap.
y'all. That's the way to go. I'm a nap guy. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We just had 1,000 people in the live stream. That is so cool. It's only happened a few times for a few of these games. This actually, the first time we did it was Texas A&M a year ago right now in this round. And that was a fun night. But I'll be in Indianapolis Wednesday or Thursday, whatever. I don't know. But we will take y'all through it. We're going to do some different things during this round or two. But we appreciate y'all for being here. GoCoogs.com. We're going to have football and basketball coverage continuing. Be at football practice Tuesday, doing something cool there. Galen, we're missing you. That's true. We are missing you, Galen. And he'll be here full time starting very soon. I think Friday he'll be here. Thank y'all so much, and we will see y'all soon. GoCoogs.com.